This is the Theta Network 1 month overview reading for the month of April 2024. It's currently February 29th, 2024, 12:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Theta at the time of this reading is currently $1.88 USD. The shuffle file for the April Theta reading was created on February 18th, 2024 at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the lower left corner. The overall theme and behavior for Theta in April. So this is an interesting combination for the theme and crossing card. The fortune card usually indicates a reversal, but in a lot of cases, it also is indicating like an important high of some kind or like a top of some kind. Sometimes it's a bottom. Usually if it's talking about a bottom or a top, it's talking about a top. But it's very, very often talking about a reversal. Frequently, it's talking about a top with a reversal, right? So you've got that, and then you've got the Ace of Swords, which is also a very toppy card. Ace of Swords often indicates a high on a reading where we have a key resistance highlighted as the Ace of Swords price level, and there's usually a lot of volatility back and forth around that price level, allowing for one to trade in both directions. So we should see a pretty volatile back and forth kind of like swingy month for April. But with that said, also, I think the combination together is really saying that we're going to see a high here for the year, and that goes pretty strongly with what we see on the 1 year here with the high here in April, and it's very likely to be just slightly higher than the highs that we have here. So in less than like this last day, the last few minutes of the day, we break through this 228 price level. Well, I'll get into that in more detail in the paid version. We talk about price levels and all that in the paid version, so I'll hold that for that then. In any case, the behavior around the highest high, we have a brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a decline through multiple support levels. Behavior around the lowest low, and this is for the month. When I say lowest low and highest high, I'm talking about the span of this reading, which is April. So the lowest behavior around the lowest low for the month of April is a decline to and through support on a multi-day scale. To meet another support, and we rotate sideways along that support. Now, I'm going to get into the day-by-day chart behavior as well as timing the highest highs and lowest lows for you, but before I do that, I just want to make sure everybody's aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube Tips. And that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Okay, so here on the first, we successfully turned resistance into support. That's on a multi-day scale. That could be with a rally. It could be without a rally. It's hard to say, but we successfully turned multi-day resistance into support here. There's our first lowest low for the month here as well. And it may actually be that I think what we have is a lowest low thus far here, and then we have a highest high for the month here on the second. It's highest high thus far, and it's the beginning of a notable rally. This is the high card of the April cluster of the 1 year, so strong cross reading congruency here. But it's in between some price swings, right? We've got the decline through multiple supports there afterwards, and that takes us back to another lowest low for the month. It might kind of like bottom out on the fourth, but we have a rally into the fifth where we have a crest that we sell off from down to, and we do a U-shaped reversal. We actually don't sell off from it, but we decline from that crest through a support level, and then we come back and reuse it, do like a U-shaped reversal, come back and reuse it as support, and then an important technical price level on a 1 year chart scale highlighted here on the 6th. Very, very likely this is where we have the high. In some of the other April crypto readings, we have a high at the beginning here, we have a high around the 5th, 6th, and then there's possibility of another one here. Now, we'll get into that as we progress, but this is an important technical price level. It also correlates to the Ace of Swords, so I'd say that this is probably establishing the top here. Maybe it might even be on the 7th that we establish the top, but there's a bullish move on the 7th. Multiple failed attempts to break through resistance here between the 7th and the 8th. On the 9th, we probably declined from that resistance on the 8th, because we have a prominent move higher on the 9th, followed by a full retracement of that move. Another significant trough on the 10th within a period of volatility, and that volatility on the 10th ends with a fast sudden move higher towards the end of the day on the 10th. Rally continues into the 11th along a diagonal trend line, but ends with a fast sudden move higher on the 11th, breaking down through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Oh, I left out notable trade opportunity here on the 5th and the 7th. Also more reason why I think there's probably a highest high here. Now, we very likely have another high here around the 12th, 13th, but I don't think it's a highest high per se. It could be the same high that we saw around the 5th, 6th, or it's just like a better place to get into a short position for a multi-day trade than the high, because sometimes there's behavior in between that would make you do the wrong thing, right? So I think this is just an important rally on the 12th that offers trade opportunity, pretty big move higher towards the end of the day, and then we have an important price level on a multi-day scale where we establish support at least temporarily on the 13th. Trade opportunity towards the end of the day on the 13th, and bumping along resistance sideways on the 14th, declining to and through support to meet another support on the 15th, bouncing along that support on the 15th before breaking down through more supports into a lowest low on the 16th where we have a pop and drop, and then probably the lowest low is on the cusp of the 16th, 17th. Similar chart behavior on the 17th where we have this big move higher, we break through key resistance on a multi-day scale, we stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level shortly thereafter with the full retracement. So we might actually see the low again there. Before we go any further though, let's take a look and see how we're doing on the 2024 reading thus far. The 2024 reading was created November 14th, 2023 at 1:27 p.m. Eastern time. That's this file right here, right? So, okay, so there's two ways that you can read this, but this is pretty solid. So we have an important support level highlighted on a 1 year or a multi-year chart scale here. And you can see the support here at the very beginning. And then we have this failed attempt to break the resistance. Looks like we're going to break through. Instead, we decline through key support. There's a rally off of the low offering opportunity to open up a short position because we revisit that price level again in early February at that trough. And then there's this huge move starting out of that trough in February, pushing the upper end of a range higher around the 141 mark and taking us to highs for the year here towards the end of the month of February, where we should do some sideways rotation before dropping. So I think that this is pretty darn solid so far, guys. And so this Theta reading is actually a custom Theta reading. You could actually get any ticker or crypto symbol covered on a monthly basis through our site. It's one of the pricier services that we offer. You go to our services, SO Meta Posts, scroll down all the way to custom monthly reading, click here to order. You specify the month that you're interested in, specify the ticker or crypto that you're interested in, add to cart and purchase. A great way to support the channel. Much appreciation to everybody who does it, guys. The information you get in the paid version, all the best trades that we see, what to look for as far as entry and exit, chart behavior into those and out of those trades, right? We talk about price level information that we extrapolate. We talk about trades from a multi-month, multi-year standpoint, and any cross-reading congruency information. None of this stuff can be found anywhere in the world other than here. That's going to be made clear to the majority of the world very, very soon. You guys will see. But with that said, very underpriced because it's super valuable information. A great combination, a great complement to ordering a 1 year. If you go down to SO Meta service, our services, SO Meta Posts, and you scroll down to 1 year report, the best way to use these 1 year reports, right? The 1 year report gets you a custom report, or you can pick any of the ones that have already been done. They're a little bit cheaper, I believe. But in any case, what you want to do is you want to order a 1 year report, which is like this. And then when you identify where the months, the highs and the lows are, and you want to order the custom monthly for those months, right? And that's a really good way to complement the 1 year and get some really solid trade information. So much appreciation that everybody that does that. Let's get back into it. Okay, so we rally somewhere between the low of the 17th into the early part of the 18th into a key resistance, and from that key resistance we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Decline accentuates on the 19th, but we have a fast sudden move higher on the 20th, taking us to a prominent peak. It'll be like a near overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels into a key support on a multi-day scale here on the 21st, where we rotate sideways into the 22nd, and we most likely see the same low as what we saw on the 16th, 17th, or we see our lowest low for the month period here early in the day on the 22nd with that sideways rotation. That period of sideways rotation on the 22nd ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us to a prominent peak early in the day on the 23rd, and we do sideways rotation there. Sharp drop at the end of the day to a trough. A period of volatility on the 24th with a sharp drop in it standing out in that period of volatility. Decline continues into the 25th, but on the 25th it offers an opportunity to open up a long position, and I'll talk about that in a little more detail in the paid version. So there's probably a rally here on the 25th towards the end of the day, and then we decline to revisit a support level on the 26th. Pretty mixed behavior on the 27th, back and forth in a channel. We decline from a resistance to a support. Reverse go all the way back to the resistance. Reverse go all the way back to the support, creating like a sideways S formation. That's that Queen of Cups. And then we have looks like a trough early in the day on the 28th. So that Queen of Cups actually looks like that behavior is spread from the 27th into the 28th. And then we have a peak at the end of the day, a prominent peak at the end of the day on the cusp of the 28th, 29th. So prominent peak on the 29th, a trade opportunity there. We decline pretty notably off of that peak on the cusp of the 28th, 29th, decline into the 29th. And then there's this big move out of that decline somewhere towards the end of the day on the 29th or into the 30th, a big move from the bottom of the range out of that decline to the top of a range, taking us probably back to the same peak that we saw on the cusp of the 28th, 29th. We probably see it again at the end of the day on the 30th. And that's a resistance level that we failed to break through many times before, as indicated by the cruelty card on the 30th. Sneak preview for May is a decline through multiple support levels on a multi-day scale. We'll take a look at that in more detail in the 1 year reading when we get into the paid version. Guys, that's Theta for April 2024. Much appreciation to everybody for watching, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. It really helps out the channel. Most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version. We're going to get into the best trades that we see.